Let's talk about perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around the outside of an object. To find the perimeter, you will add all the sides. Something to help with perimeter is perimeter equals sum of all sides. So as, and in our last video, you learned that sum means addition, so that means add all the sides. Area. This is the space inside of an object. Area equals length times width. And you can see length is the L times the width, which is the W. But this formula only works for the area of a rectangle or a square. Perimeter. Let's talk about perimeter and do some practice problems. So, perimeter is the distance around the outside of an object. To find the perimeter, you would add all the sides. And remember, P equals so as, sum of all sides. So, let's start right here with this square. Well, we know that a square, all the sides are the same on a square. So that means that I'm going to take 16 and I need to add it 4 times. Because I know one side of the square is 16, so all the sides of the square are going to be 16. So I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to do 16 plus 16. 6 plus 6 is 12. Carry the 1, that's 32. Instead of adding 16 again and 16, I'm just going to do 32 plus 32. 32 plus 32 is 64. So the perimeter equals 64. Okay? If I were to put inches here, then it would be inches. Okay? Here, I have 26 and 12, but I need to make sure that I label all of my other edges. So I know that 12 plus 12 in my head is 24. And then I'm going to do 26 plus 26, which equals 52 plus 24. That's 76. So the perimeter would be 76. And whatever it's labeled as, if it's labeled as centimeters, I need to make sure that I label that also. So 76 centimeters. Let's make this feet. Well, this shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, which means it's a pentagon. So I still need to add all the sides, and this pentagon has the same measurement for every side. So instead of adding 8 5 times, I'm going to use my basic facts. And I know 8 times 5 is 40. So this would be 40 feet. Okay? Let's move on to area. Area. Inside the area, you have squares. Okay? Area is the space inside of an object. Area is length times width. But this formula only works for the area of a rectangle. So, here, I have my area, which is, I'm going to call this centimeters. So, all I have to do is length times width. And I want you to get in the habit, anytime you see area, I want you to write length times width. Anytime you see area. Okay? So, 2 times 7. Well, 2 times 7, I know from my basic facts, is 14. If I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 squares inside of this rectangle. So I know that that's going to be 14 is going to be my answer. So the area is going to equal 14, and this time I'm going to put centimeters squared, because when you're dealing with area, you're dealing with square centimeters. So I'm going to write centimeters squared. Here, I'm going to do again length times width, which is 3 times 7. I'm going to make this one inches. So 3 times 7. Well, that equals 21 square inches. So you need to make sure that you are labeling this way. Now, my square down here has gotten cut off, but I know that a square has all the same sides. So I know that all the sides are going to be 3. So again, the length times the width, 3 times 3 is 9, and I'm going to make this feet. So this would be area equals 9 square feet. Okay? Now, this side, I am going to call this the width because this is how wide this shape is. This side is the length because it's how long it is. So this would be the length. This would be the width. I'm sorry, switch that. This is the length. This is the width for how wide it is. Again, this shape right here, this is going to be the width because it's how wide it is, and this is how long it is. On a square, it really doesn't matter what you decide the length and width is because they are the same. Now here I have a triangle, and my triangle got cut off down at the bottom, but I'm going to work this anyway because I want you to understand that if you come to a shape like a triangle or like a pentagon, you have to count the squares. So I'm going to count the full squares first. There's one here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full squares. And I know you can't see these full squares at the bottom, but there's 6. Then I'm going to count the half squares. These two together would make that 7. These two together would make that 8. So this would be 8. That would be the area. And let's say I put square meters.